All right, Shalom. We're the Hebrew Israelites who come in week and week out to prophesy the downfall of Babylon the Great, falling like a rock with every day that passes by. All right? And it's getting bad out here. It's getting worse by the hour, not by the day anymore. All right? We come in week and week out to wake up the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel, Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Seminole Indians, Speckled Bird. Get you to repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, and get back in order. All right, the ordinances of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and first and foremost, and as always, all praises due to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem HaKadash. Double honors to the elder apostles and elder bishops of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. And shalom and salutations to all the brothers out pushing the word in truth and in sincerity, the hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right. Isaiah 33 and 6. Where are we at today? How do we make it up out of here? Right? This is some old milk. This is what you learn when you come in. And this is what you got to know as you're leaving, as you're walking out. All right? Isaiah 33 and 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. All right? And wisdom and knowledge, where does wisdom and knowledge start? With the fear of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, over and over and over again. And if you don't fear the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai now, you better learn. The quicker you learn how to fear the Most High, the better off you're going to do. Plain and simple. Because everybody will be brought to their knees. Okay? And, I mean, if you don't, then, bring them hither and slay them before me. That's fine, too. Okay? That is bowing. When your head gets lopped off, right, you will be in a kneeling position. That's simple. Okay? Even with the guillotine, right, pursuant to Revelation 2 and 10, right, guess what? When you get down in that guillotine, guess what? You're on your knees. You understand? You understand? Let's get that. Bring them hither. Bring hither and slay them before me. This is Luke 19 and 27. But those mine enemies, and this is Yahweh Shai speaking. Okay? Letting you know that it won't be Moab, it won't be China. China ain't got next. All right? See, the way that this devil is setting things up, the devil done went into hiding. All right? The devil truly believes that he is going to beguile and trick and fool, right, the elect. But you can't, right? You can't fool the very elect. Right? We know. Just like you know who we are, we know who you are. We know how you get in. We know all the wiles of your ass, and we're going to go around. We already know that there's an appointed number, right? 7,000 men that shall not bow the knee to Baal, right? We got to get that. Now that we're we're in the bowing. Okay, because what does it mean to bow? Right? To show reverence or to worship. Okay? Luke 19:27. Luke 19:27, King James. But those mine enemies, which would not that I should reign over them, bring hither and slay them before me. Okay? Every knee shall bow, right? If you're not going to bow, you're going to bow. In the kneeling position while your head, what does it mean, bring hither and slay them before me? Pretty much getting your head chopped off with a big old sword. Okay? Let's get every knee. Romans 14:11. For it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to the Most High. Okay? All right? And if you don't bow down, wait a minute. Let's read that again. For it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me. There's your bowing right there. There's the bow of the knee. Right? And a lot of you are not going to do it. In your head, you're gonna die a horrible death. All right? That's what this thing is about. This whole thing is about rulership and a kingdom. All right? This kingdom is in free fall, clearly. This kingdom is clearly in free fall, meaning what? Out with the old, in with the new. Right? For the very last time. For it is written, as I live, saith the Lord, every knee shall bow to me, and every tongue shall confess to the Most High. All right? Now let's get $7,000. Men listen close. Romans 11:4. But what saith the answer of the Most High unto him? I have reserved to myself 7,000 men who have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. Okay? A perfect number doesn't mean exactly 7,000. It means that a certain number, a perfect number, a complete number has already been reserved that is going to endure until the end, if you will. All right? And not what? Bow the knee. What does it mean, bow the knee? Worship. All right? They're not going to worship this devil, take the mark, worship the beast and his image, none of that. Right? They're going to remain steadfast in this thing and endure until the end, no matter what they're presented with. For the Most High hath spoken it. All right? And there's your bowing the knee. All right? And this goes into the hour of temptation. All right? Shamnao Mayan Haishahashal Nasiwat the Wadatham Yad. Right? Keep me from the hour of temptation. So, here we are in this tumultuous time. Look like tic-tac-toe up there. All right. Wow. That looks like a rocket. It's going straight up. Never seen that. It must be the sun reflecting. Okay. Wow. Okay, Salakia. All right, so I saw a brother's video the other day, and this Edomite was scoffing, and he was talking to another Edomite. Kiss his shoe, kiss his shoe. No, we're not in that time. All right. That was 10, 15 years ago. All right. The time of kissing boots is over. All right. There will be plenty of that in the kingdom. Right now, it's time to watch out for a slithering snake acting like he's kissing your boot, and he's gonna pull out that dagger because he got in close, right? And I should know this. All right, we got to be circumspect out here. Now is the time for that armor, the whole armor. All right. Because what is this devil doing right now? All right? He's doing everything, everywhere, all at one time. He's throwing the works out there, right? He's trying to distract you and trip you up and scare you, right? When your fear belongs to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. All right, so back to the top. All right, wisdom and knowledge. Right? Isaiah 33, it's 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. There's that word salvation, right? This is what the elect have searched for and have found it, right? The fear of the Lord is his treasure. There's that fear. Now we could go precept upon precept with fear. Let's do a little. Okay? A. It's time for great fear. Right? Either on one side or the other. Either you fear the Most High or you're going to fear this devil. Okay? If you fear the Most High, you're not going to bow down to this devil. If you fear this devil, you're not going to bow down to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's balance. Okay? Who would you rather serve? This devil on his way out? His kingdom is over. His kingdom cannot stand. You got Vlad fighting against Let's Go Brandon. All right, that's a family feud. All right, and then the least of the flock is in the middle of drawing them out. Right, big time wrestling, right here in front of everybody, or WWF for you youngsters out there. We're watching the beginning of the end, right? And with every day that passes by, or every hour, see, it's not even days anymore. I got to correct myself. It's every hour. With every hour that passes by, right, things are happening. And what is that? That's this devil, right? He done had 1,000 years. Well, not 1,000. He had 500 years. A short season to do what? to deceive the nations. Okay? And part of his deception, it's a deceptive plan. Right? He's been plotting and planning. I'm sure that in 1900, this devil was sitting down at his council with his consultants. They sat down and they were like, when that computer comes in, right, when we get computing power, then we're gonna up the ante in this wickedness, and we're gonna fool everybody. We already got these niggas in derision. We got them believing that they are not the children of Israel and somehow we are. Right? We got these 3 world wars planned, in which on the second one, we're going to go and divide up the Most High's land and make them believe that the prophecies have come to pass. See, this devil, how far ahead is he in his Decepticon? How far ahead is he? He's very much ahead. It's Revelation 20:1. So we could get some perspective on what's going on here. Going way back. Going back to 1492 when Columbus sailed the ocean blue. All right? What happened 500 years ago? Or a short season. We're at the end of the short season that this devil was given to do what? To get his affairs in order so he could deceive the very elect. But guess what? Can't do it. That's the way it was written. All right? Revelation 21, the 1,000 years. All right? And I saw an angel come down from heaven having the key of the bottomless pit and a great chain in his hand. That angel is Yahushua. The bottomless pit is Europe, and the great chain represents slavery. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan, and bound him 1,000 years. Now that happened in the Dark Ages. All right? You got the Edomites out here saying, that's about to happen right now. No, nigga, it's already happened. All right? Because we're reading the book and the prophecy with understanding. That already took place. And cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up, and set a seal upon him that he should deceive the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he must be loosed a little season. Well, guess what, devil? See, we got this 100% truth, so you can't fool us with the scriptures. We know that the devil knows the scriptures too. So you're going to try to deceive the nations. That's your job. You got one job. That's to be a perfect devil. What does the word devil mean? Deceiver. Did we see that word deceiver? It says, Revelation 20:3, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and set a seal upon him that he should deceive, there it is, devil, the nations no more till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled. And after that, he must be loosed a little season. What is he going to do when he gets loose? When they cut him, okay, all right, devil, you served your time. We're going to open up the prison and let you out. What is this? What is his main function? What does the word devil mean? What does the word Satan mean? Adversary. What does the word devil mean? It means deceiver. You're adversarial to the Most High, so you must go out and tell lies against this truth so that you can try to secure your kingdom moving forward, but it ain't gonna work. This is it, devil. You can't deceive the very elect. And we're out here chanting you down, and it's grievous unto you, right? It grieves you every day that more and more brothers are standing up, right, with that thawa out here making their bodies a living sacrifice, right? And you can't stop it. You're going to try. It says, and after that he must be loosed a little season. Well, if 1,000 years is a season, what would be a little season? 500 years maybe? All right. Now let's jump down to 7. Revelation 20:7. And when the 1,000 years are expired in 1492, what happened? Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. Uh-oh. What is he going to do? From 1492 until now, how many years is that? A little above 500, which is a small season, a short season. When the 1,000 years are expired, 1492, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth. All right, and that's what he's out here doing. How is he deceiving? He's saying, well, here come those 1,000 years, guys. Here it is. You're at the end of your short season. The 1,000 years passed by. You was already locked up. You're out. You're in rulership. Whoever's in rulership right now, please stand up. Will the real Slim Shady please stand up? All right? It's you, devil. It's you, Edomites. It's you, Russians. It's you, Israelis. It's you, Americans. Oh, but you're an American. No, I'm an Israelite. Okay? So stop with the Decepticon. It's you, Edomites. Okay? Game over, devil. All right? Now, you know that the game is over. You know that the jig is up. You know that you have but a short time. Short time for what? Right? To try to deceive the nations. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice ye heavens and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. What does that mean? It means that he knows we got this truth. We're noising it abroad. We're blowing the trumpet, and the walls are going to come tumbling down at any moment. He can't stop it. He's worried. You worried? What happened to sticks and stones? They break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Well, your whole empire, which cannot stand, right, is being brought down by the word. Now, of course, the word is Yahushai, meaning you have zero chance. Okay? You got zero chance. And it's simple. All right? So we're at the home stretch of deception. What is this devil's main tool? Well, he's got murder. He's got deception. Let's get that. Hold on, how about shooting outside? About shooting outside. See that? 10:44. We got to expose this devil. It's the book of St. John, chapter 8. All right, these are Yahushua's words in red. He's exposing this damn devil. What devil? The red devil. Esau, Edom. St. John 8:44. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lusts of your father ye will do. Uh-oh. So what does that mean? What does it mean, the lust of your father ye will do? Well, it's about to expose. We're about to get some characteristics of the devil and what this man actually does. And we already know that it's Esau, Edom. We already know. But let's solidify it by getting your track record and bringing it forth. See, this is what you hate, right? This is what you hate. When we bring up the past and your track record and put it together, oh, it's talking about you. You're the devil. But the Bible speaks. Okay? So let's check the records because we're in court. Right? And this is the testimony. Right? The testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. Ye are of your father the devil, and the lust of your father ye will do. He was a murderer. So if your father was a murderer, and the lust of your father ye will do, you're out here murdering people right now. Well, let's look at your track record, Iraq. North American Indian, the tribe of Gad, hanging niggas by their necks. Alligator bait. We can go all the way down the list. It's a bloody and murderous record, to say the least. And right now, you're saying, well, we don't want no CRT. We don't want CRT. What is that? We don't want no critical race theory. Why? Because you want to deceive. You want to lie. How do you deceive somebody? With a lie. We don't want the truth coming out. We deal in lies and deception. Okay? So we got the murderous rampage is very clear. All right? 8:44. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth because there is no truth in him. Uh-oh. We went from murder to lies and deception that quick. Who's the deceiver? Esau, Edom, the devil. There is no truth in him. What does that mean? Only lie. He deals, these are his strongest weapons. The devil's strongest weapons are what? Murder. Because he's talking about Cain. Ye are of your father the devil. Even the name Cain implies a killing instinct. And you are the Most High sword. It's just 1, 2. 2 plus 2 equals 4 all day, and you're trying to say it's 5. Okay? Hey, the jig is up. All right? The jig is up. He was a murderer from the beginning and abode not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, a what? A lie. How do you deceive somebody? With lies. What is it your job to do? Why were you released from your prison? So you can go out and deceive the nation. How do you deceive the nation? Well, you lie. Stolen identity. Identity theft. In order to steal somebody's identity, you gotta be a masterful liar. Well, if there is no truth in you, what do you specialize in? You specialize in lies and deception. Oh, we're the children of Israel. No, you're not. The book says that you're not. Okay? The book clearly tells you who had a yoke of iron around their neck, and everybody knows that the so-called Negro was the one with the iron, a yoke of iron around him. Everybody knows that. And even though everybody knows that, the devil is going to try to weasel his way into that. Oh, when we went into slavery, this devil has the audacity with some weak-ass lies like this. When we went into slavery in Egypt and in Babylon, I'm like, nigga, that's a weak-ass lie. That wasn't you. There you go, stealing identity theft with lies. No, we got the proof that that was us. What proof? Everybody knows who had a yoke of iron around their neck. Doesn't it make sense that this slavery keeps happening to who? To who the book says it's going to happen to. Where's your track record of slavery? On ships with a yoke of iron, catching hell to this very day. Where is your proof? You got none. You got a little period in time, right? That, wait a minute now, you're a liar, and the father of it, wait a minute. Woo! When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own, for he is a liar and the father of it. So can we trust anything you say? Right? Anybody who says, if you speak on that, you're going to jail. What? What if what I'm saying is the truth? I can't speak on it? If you talk about that, you're going to jail. Who would say that? If you speak the truth, you're going to jail. Who would say that? The murderer and the liar. What truth? That we had yokes of iron around our neck and were treated abominably by the devil. You can't say that. We're taking that out of the curriculum. Who would do that? The liar. You got to take that out. You got to put lies in. Oh no, they volunteered. This is what they say. They sold themselves into, what do they say on Deuteronomy 28? They volunteered for slavery. And no man shall buy you. They volunteered for slavery. Some stupid shit. It's so absurd, right? Here it is. slavery supposedly ended so long ago, why are we still catching hell? Huh? We delivered ourselves up, right? We volunteered for slavery, and it was indentured servitude. This motherfucking liar, boy, and I don't apologize for my words. I don't. All right? Now this thing took a turn. We're supposed to be talking about where we're at today and where this thing is going. But we can't do that without the background of the devil. You understand? Because, all right, let's deal with today. What is this devil doing right now? Well, first he's operating under a stolen identity, right? Not only did you steal an identity that doesn't belong to you, you covered yours up. We're not the Edomites. That's not us. The Edomites have been done away with. Sounds like one of those clever lies. Nobody wants to be an Edomite. Everybody wants to be the children of Israel, but nobody wants to be an Edomite. Right? Why? Right? What about balance? Is the Most High about perfect balance? Is not a false balance and an abomination to the Most High? Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Isn't that true? So when do you go into slavery? You don't, right? Or shall I say back into slavery? When do you go back? When is it your turn to be locked up again? You got your 500 years, right? It didn't work. When do you get back in the cage so that the world can be a better place? All right? Well, here's what's got to happen. A war must happen. Because this devil ain't going to give up what he believes is his. Nigga, it's not yours. It was given into your hand. All right? For a minute. All right? For a short season. And the short season is over now. And now it's time for what? The lockup. It's time to get locked up again. It's time to go back into captivity where you actually belong, on the bottom. When I get to the bottom, you go back to the top of the slide. What's that? When I get to the bottom, you go back to the top of the slide. What is that? It's a song by the Beatles called Helter Skelter. What does Helter Skelter mean? It means race war, just like Charles Manson said. That's exactly what it means. But what does this mean? When I get to the bottom, you go back to the top of the slide. What does that mean? Well, if Esau is singing that song, which Esau wrote it, right? When he gets to the bottom, the first shall be last and the last shall be first. When he gets to the bottom, who goes back to the top of the slide? Israel. How is that going to come about? What does Helter Skelter mean? It means something war. Right? There's a word that comes before war, but let's not worry ourselves with what war. Let's worry ourselves with war. A war has to happen. World War III. Going to be some little battles and skirmishes, right? Little events, right? All that's going to be there. But the war, all right, Getting to where we're going here, I'm trying to get to the whole armor, right? Well, in order to fight a war, ask the Ukrainians, what do they need? You need weapons, you need armor. What do you need on them tanks? What do you need on that Abrams, right? What do you need on that Sherman? What do you need on that T-62? Need some armor. What do you need on that Humvee, right? In the military, they call it a Humvee. On the street, in civilian life, they call it a Hummer, right? It's a tank, right? And that Hummer, it don't mean shit unless it's got armor plating on it. You need some armor. You need a shield. You need a buckler. You need boots. You need a helmet, Kevlar, nigga, to fight a war. So here's what's being said. A war must happen, right? And whether you understand it or not, you're in the middle of it right now. Jake don't know. Jake don't know. First of all, not only are you in a war, nigga, you're a POW. Okay? What do you do when you get a prisoner of war? What's the first thing you do? Well, you lock them up, and then you go into psychological warfare. You deprive him of sleep, food, right? And then what you do is you get him to admit that what he was doing was wrong. And you make a propaganda film out of it, right? Starve this man. When you see the POWs, they're in a little striped suit, right? Like they're a prisoner, number one. And then they're all skinny and delirious looking. They got the 1,000-mile stare. They're all fucked up. Why? Because you done been tortured. You done been fed lines to say. They put a camera on you, and you're going to say whatever they tell you to say, right? It's a psychological warfare. Well, that's what you jakes are doing. You're involved in a psyop right now. You don't even know that you're a POW. Okay? A nigga will jump out and say, what, we ain't in slavery no more. Nigga. The slavery system is so vicious right now. They got Edomites in slavery. Slavery is what do they call it? A class or a caste system. All right? Well, there's a black man. He's not in. Well, that black man, nigga, hates you because he's a Hamite. And he knows who you are. You don't know who you are. You're a POW. This Hamite, just like over in Africa, when they put you on them boats, he knew who you were. You don't know. You're a POW. You're speaking on his behalf because you've been brainwashed like POWs. You understand the jargon that's being spoken here? This is about war. This is what happens in war. You got niggas walking around, right, without their chain, without their yoke of iron, believing that they're free. Well, if you're going to speak on my behalf, nigga, you good boy, Toby. You go tell the world that you're not a slave and that you're free, and you do exactly as I tell you to do. Nigga, you're a slave without the chains and without the yoke of iron. The chains and the yoke of iron are in your head and on paper now. You're still a slave. You're still a POW. Okay? This is a war. Okay? Right now, you're losing the war. Right? And the only way for you to be delivered from the status of POW is when the birds come in. As birds flying, the birds got to come in and extract you, right, out of the POW camp. The POW camp is called Babylon the Great. All right? And the only way out without catching shrapnel or getting burned up by the bombs, the incoming bombs, right, is when the birds come in. What is that, Ecclesiastes 5? Salakia, bear with me. See if I can find it off the top. My sword is all jacked up. Nope. Zechariah 5? I'm guessing. Zechariah 5. Habakkuk. Bear with me, Slugger. Nope. That's a different one. Let me get it perfect. Let me get As Birds Flying, Salakia. Isaiah 31. All right, so let me set that up again. All right. Let's use Vietnam, the Vietnam War, or the Vietnam, what they call a conflict, right? No, it's a war. The Vietnam conflict, right? You're in a hot LZ. What is an LZ? A landing zone. So you waiting for the birds, and you're out in the brush, right? And the LZ is in the clearing. You're waiting in the brush, and here come the birds, right? Hueys, shit hooks, right? Jolly Green Giant, Hueys. Okay? They come in. Here come the birds. What are the birds? The birds are helicopters in this instance. All right? Birds coming into a hot LZ. What is the hot LZ? Where are the birds at? We can't hold them off too much longer. They got to come and land and not get shot out of the sky because you're in a firefight. A hot LZ, right? It's like a Cold War and a hot war. Hot war means you're shooting. Cold War is diplomacy, maybe. All right? Hot meaning you're shooting. So hot LZ, hot landing zone, means they're coming to fucking get us. The birds got to hurry up and do what? Extract us. Where is this theater? The theater of war. This is, you understand? We're in a war. We're in a hot LZ right now. Why are we in a hot LZ? Because this devil knoweth that he hath but a short time. So now he's taking off the gloves and he's coming to fucking kill you. And you don't even know. You think you're not a slave. I'm not a slave. I got a job. I got a home. No, nigga, you going to work. You got community service. I got community service coming up. Right? And who got community service? Us brown folk. That's us brown folk. We got community center. Understand? We're in a hot LZ. How do you make it out of a hot LZ? The birds got to come in. You're firing, and one by one you go and you get on the bird, and the bird gets you up out of there without getting shot down. All right? This is what we're praying for. We're waiting for the birds to come. America, right, has taken us captive, right, prisoner of war. Who is our adversary? I'll go to Psalm 83 and name them off one by one, starting with the tabernacles of Edom, Ishmael, Moab, right down the line, Ammon, all right, Ham, who just because he looks like you hates your fucking guts, all right? Did I lose it? Sluggy. Call halal Yahweh Shem Yahushua B'Shem Kakadai. As birds flying, 31 and 5. All right, so this is how we get the fuck out of here. We're in a hot LZ. We're in the middle of a war. We're waiting to be rescued. We're POWs, prisoners of war. Ask John McCain. Ask old Songbird McCain. All right? This is Isaiah 31 and 5. As birds flying, I close the book. Okay? As birds flying, so will the Lord, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, of hosts, of armies, defend Jerusalem. Okay? So that's the other side. Here we are, we're prisoners of war. Who's your adversary? Edom. So who is the Most High going to defend you from? Edom. Who got you in captivity? Edom. The Lord of hosts, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, is going to do what? He defend you, Jerusalem. Right? This is the extraction. This is explaining everything that I've been saying here. You're a POW in a war, right? You're being held hostage. There's only one way out when the birds come and deliver you, and you get the hell up out of there. Get on the bird flies away without getting shot. As birds flying, this is Isaiah 31 and 5, so will the Lord of hosts defend Jerusalem, defending also, he will deliver it. What does that mean? And passing over, he will preserve it. You know what that means? That means that that bird got out of there without getting shot down. After it picked up the POWs. Now, what is this bird? Is this bird a helicopter? No. Well, on the wall at Abydos, they have ancient drawing of a Cherokee, of a Black Hawk, these birds, as birds flying, right? Meaning when birds fly north for the winter or whatever, right? They get in a V formation. And when you see, well, let's get the name. 2 Kings. Let's get the name of these birds. Bear with me. Because this is where we are. Second Kings 2 and 11. And it came to pass as they still went on and talked that, behold, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire, and parted them both asunder. And Elisha went up by a whirlwind into heaven. This is describing, right, POW, and this wasn't a reward type situation. This was a normal extraction. It wasn't a hot LZ, all right? Rehearsal, if you will. Okay? And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. Now here's the name of the birds right here. A bird came in. It said, there appeared a chariot of fire and horses of fire. That's a bird. Second Kings 2 and 12. And Elisha saw it and he cried, my father, the chariot of Israel. Well, there's the name. That's the name of the bird. Right? It has written, the bird has written on its tail, it says, in Hebrew, it says, the chariots of Yasharallah. No, I'm kidding. Okay? But that's the bird coming, that's the name of it. All right? Now here we are. Right? Measuring thou the time diligently in itself. In the middle of this war, knowing that this devil, just like over in Eastern Europe, you got Russia, right, closing down Bakhmut, right, and the Ukraine, right, who is really NATO, the EU, and Babylon the Great, are getting shut down. They don't have too much more to do in that theater, right? Without starting this nuclear war before it's time. They really want to go down into Crimea, but they're like this, nigga, if we start this shit too early, Vlad got more firepower than us, so we can't take it nuclear right now, right? So what's going to happen? We're going to shift the focus, or the Most High is going to shift the focus into the valley of Yehoshaphat. How close are we to getting extracted up out of here? Well, the extraction has to happen before the fire burns your ass up. Right? So how close are we to the fire? We're going to continue to explain the extraction. This is more on the extraction right here. Right? This is the moment in the hot LZ. This is the moment of extraction. And why must we be extracted at that precise time? Because fire, earthquake, gnashing of teeth, right? And wailing. Not Bob Marley and the Wailers, but wailing and gnashing of teeth. All right? Revelation 11. Start at 11. And after 3 days and a half, the spirit of life from the Most High entered into them. That's going on right now. And they stood upon their feet. Here we are, standing in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted us. That describes the extraction too. Okay. And they stood upon their feet, and great fear fell upon them which saw them. Great fear, if we stand upon our feet, an exceeding great army, who is fear going to fall on? Our adversary, the devil and Satan. Okay? And he's scared now. He's so scared, they got to move their plans up, knowing that they have but a short time. What are those plans? Well, our plans are to get everybody C-hipped and ferret out the elect. We got to get to those elect. That's our only hope. Obi-Wan Kenobi. You understand? Revelation 11:11. And after 3 days and a half, the Spirit of the Most High entered, the Spirit of life from the Most High entered into them, and they stood upon their feet. That's us, the elect of Israel. And great fear fell upon them which saw them, and they, who's they? The elect of Israel, heard a great voice from heaven saying unto them, come up hither. This is the extraction. This is the POWs, the elect of Israel, being saved from the POW camp. By what? By them birds. And they ascended up to heaven in a bird, Salakia, in a cloud. And their enemies beheld them. Enemies, when you go to war, who are you firing at? The enemy is over here. The enemy is over here. Charlie is over here. Ivan is over here. Haji is over here. That's the enemy. Who is Charlie? Charlie is Moab, Ammon. Who is Haji? Haji is Ishmael. Who is Ivan? Ivan is Edom. Right? We can go to Psalms and see, they got all these different names, but guess what? They're your enemy. And who beheld? And they ascended up to heaven in a cloud, and their enemies beheld them. Oh, we gotta go. Gotta go to Psalms. Not Psalm, but Psalms. Go to Psalms. Who beheld them? Their enemies. Whose enemies? The enemies of the Most High. And the children of Israel. Psalm 83, Salakia. Psalm 83:1, keep not thou silence, O God. Hold not thy peace and be not still, O God. So we're dealing with God, whose name is Yahweh, in the name of his son, Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. For lo, thine enemy, whose enemy? The enemies of God. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult. And they that hate thee have lifted up who is they that hate who? They that hate God have lifted up the head. Who are those that hate God? Those that hate God are the same ones that hate the children of the chosen of God. Do they not? Well, let's find out. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people. Who's that? That's Israel. And have consulted against thy hidden ones. Who are the hidden ones? Israel. They have said, come and let us cut them off from being a nation, that the name of Israel may be no more in remembrance. This is why we got to get out of this hot LZ. This is why we got to get out of this POW camp. Why? Because they're coming to cut us off. They hate the Most High. They hate us. It's the way the Most High created it. Why? Why though? Nobody hates anybody for real. What did the Most High say? Most High said, I created enemies for myself and for my chosen. And here's their names. Jump down to 6. Psalms 83:6. The tabernacles of Edom. Salakia, let me read 5. For they have consulted together with one consent. Who has consulted against God and is chosen with one consent? They are confederate against thee. Who is confederate against God? How about Shemuel Shai and the children of Israel? Who? Who could that be? Who is so stupid to hate the Most High and his chosen people? That doesn't exist. Where's that in the Bible? Here are the names. Psalm 83 and 6. The tabernacles of Edom, that means all of them. All the Edomites. And the Ishmaelites. Okay, well, let's start at the top again. The tabernacle, who's that? So-called white men, the Caucasians. Their real name in the Bible is the Edomites. All right? And the Ishmaelites, the Arabs, they hate you too. Of Moab, who is of Moab? The Chinese. So when all of these nations are fighting against each other, they're only kind of fighting. They're fighting, they're jockeying for position. Well, who's going to rule the earth now that America's out? Who got next, right? Well, we're going to install the Yuan and the Chinese, and they're going to run this shit. No. Sorry, devil. That ain't going to happen. And the Hagarenes, Gebal and Ammon and Amalek. All right. Small hatters. The Philistines with the inhabitants of Tyre. All right. So there's a list of God's enemies, not because I said so, it's in the book, and the enemies of Israel, God's chosen. Right? They are confederate against us, meaning they have a plan, right, against us. So where it looks like they're fighting each other, right? They're not really fighting. They're just disagreeing on their final plan. That after they've subdued us and cut us off, right, which means exterminating them, genocide. After they have genocided us, who's going to run the world like the Americans have since World War II? This is what they're doing. But there's going to be an extraction of the POWs. And our enemies, just read the enemies. Who are the enemies of God? Keep not thou silence, O God, hold not thy peace, and be not still, O God, for lo, thine enemy. Whose enemies? God's enemies. We just named them off. Well, who's conducting the extraction? Who is going to save the POWs? Who's going to save the children of Israel out of captivity in this great war that's been going on? What war? Let's get the war. Where did the war start? Genesis, right? In the beginning, the war started. Genesis 25 and 22. Here's the war. And the children struggled together within her. There's the war. That's the beginning of the war. Right? When these two babies developed in Rebecca's womb to the point where they could just start fighting each other, that's when the war started. It's an age-old war, right? And the problem for them is that we know the outcome of the war, right? Let's get the extraction again real quick in the Apocrypha. Wisdom 5. Wisdom of Solomon 5:1. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him and made no account of his labors. Okay? Yeah, we're still in slavery. And you acting like we're not, and you acting like we didn't build these treasure cities, and we did. All right? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. Who is they? The tabernacles of Edom, the Ishmaelites of Moab, Gebal and Ammon, right? Tyre and Zidon. When they see it, when they see what? The extraction. We're talking about it. When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear. When they see what? When they see us stand up on our feet and look you in the eye and call you the devil and pronounce your judgment, right? When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear and shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. The strangeness of his salvation. There's that word salvation. What does salvation mean? To be saved. I'm saved. Jake, I'm saved. I got saved in. A nigga is a POW. You are a POW. You know what a POW is? A slave. You lost the war. You lost the war, Jake. That's why you're enslaved in a POW camp. You lost. Your plane got shot down, something. You got ran up on in Masada. You fleed out, and then they came and captured you. Slapped the cufflinks on you and put you to work. What do when you invade a country and you take prisoners, POW, prisoners of war? What do you do with them? You just feed them and let them kick it. Say, okay, well, you're removed from the chessboard now. Just sit over here and chill till we decide what to do with you. No. That's not what they do. They put your ass to work, slave. So on this last go-around during the Dark Ages, right, we were the kings, we were in rulership, they were the slaves, right? And then the Most High, he flipped the script, and they had some little skirmishes and battles and stuff, and then they took us down, and they took us prisoner. They went and gathered us up in these different places where we were scattered. And they came and got us. And now we're their prisoner of war. In this ongoing war that started back in Rebecca's womb. And it ain't over yet. It's not over yet. We still got few short days, right? This devil understands that he got but a short time. But we still got some hours, including what? The hour of temptation. So, okay, now that we understand, right, what we're looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, right, what manner of person ought you to be right now? Well, Ephesians 6. Ephesians 6 and 10, finally, my brother. Okay. Who's this, Paul? Pretty sure it is. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Why? You're still on the battlefield. We're still at war. Wake up, nigga. You're not free. You're a slave. Yes, indeed. Not only that, where's your army? Look up, for your salvation draweth nigh. All right? If you're the children of Israel, where's your army? Well, we read about it in 2 Kings. It's called, right? Them birds, the chariots of Israel. That's your army, the angels. And who is the commander in chief? Yahushua. Right? And who is above him? Who is the illuminated, if you will? Yahweh. Right? Yahweh gave Yahushua the command, right? And Yahushua is on it. Get it? And you're part of that army. You got the heavenly hosts, all of them. You got Yahweh to his right, Yahushua to his left, spiritual demons Satan, and then the heavenly hosts, right? Michael the archangel. There's order all the way down, right? The Lord of Sabaoth. Then what? Okay. Then you got the men of the Lord. You got the 144, right? Then you got the 1/3. And the 1/3 are who? In the beginning, the gods, right? We are in the Most High's military, right? Under strict orders to go in, come down here to earth in these bodies, in these chains of darkness, to perform an undercover operation that only we know about. Okay, and here we are on the battlefield, doing what? Here's the weapon of choice right here. Okay? In the spiritual war, here's the weapon of choice. They call it the sword, the two-edged sword. Okay? We're down here fighting. Now, what are we coming upon? We're coming upon the last battle. What is the last battle? It has a name, Armageddon. How do we know that the last battle is coming? Because whatever's going on over there in the valley of the Yehoshaphat, right? Armageddon. Armageddon, mountain of troops. That's how close we are. They can't hide it. Russia, Ukraine is going to die down. And what's going to spring up out of that? Syria. What's springing up right now? What's the biggest news out there right now? Whatever is going on in the land of Israel right now is the biggest news, right? And they don't want that. They know that that's the end, right? So they got these different theaters to try to obscure what's going on in the valley of Yehoshaphat, which is the Middle East. Okay, well, what do they have as a diversion? They got Russia, Ukraine. They got China, Taiwan. They got North Korea, South Korea, which makes zero sense. They're all a bunch of Koreans. How is it North Korea is against South Korea like that's two different nations? That's a diversion. Okay? What about Tigray and Eritrea? Okay? What's going on down there in Ethiopia? Nobody knows, but you will when we need to divert everybody's attention away from over here. Okay? Because it's getting hot in the Holy Land, right? What's tomorrow? Tomorrow is what they call Easter, right? Well, what's going on over there in the Holy Land? Well, they're over there fighting over a piece of land that doesn't belong to any one of them. To any one of them. Right? Now, all of that is in the scriptures. Because if that was the people, they wouldn't be over there fighting right now, would they? It would be peaceful. The world would be at peace with each other if that was the people, pursuant to the prophecies and to the scripture. But we don't see that. We see the biggest war of all time, World War III, about to commence in earnest, spiral out of control, to the point of nuclear annihilation, mutually assured destruction. This is what we're looking at. All right? So we know that ain't the people. The people, you'll be able to recognize the people because the men of the Lord are going to hit the street and warn the people, right, of what is to come. Who's doing that? It's not those people over there waving a rainbow flag saying everything's all right while we're fighting each other in the street. Oh, well, that's black on black crime, selling drugs in the hood. What's worse? You got the whole country over there fighting each other. Where did that come from? Who destabilizes nations, right? How did George Soros make it into Israel and fund the left against the... How did he do that? Right? I thought that was the tip of the spear. What's going on over there? You losing control of your own plan? I thought you were confederate with each other. Well, that's falling apart, ain't it? Okay, so what are we looking at? We're looking at this devil lose control of his plan. He's gonna lose. All we gotta do is sit back and wait. Now, there's a way, right? There's a way to be a pilgrim out here, right? If you know anything about prepping, right? This is prepping right here. This is the greatest prep, right? Get your preps in order. Oh, don't miss a week out here on the highways and the byways. That's the greatest prep you could ever have. How you gonna eat in them days? Faith, right? Hope and faith, and trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. See, you don't understand how this thing works. First of all, the Most High is only dealing with the elect of Israel. How do you make it through this time right here? Well, get your preps. What are your preps? Get your ass out there on the highways and the byways and make yourself a living sacrifice. What does it mean to make yourself a living sacrifice? You're on the battlefield. When I went into the army, right before you go and you sign all of these fucking papers, sign your life away and become a real slave, because you belong to the government. Before you do that, you don't go get drunk the day before and then go sign a bunch of papers. You think about that shit. And you count the costs, so to speak, right? That phrase is in the truth. You count the cost. You say, okay, well, what could potentially happen to me if I join the military? You can fucking die on the battlefield. That's the first thing. Before you sign anything, right? Before you are no longer in control of your life because you signed it away to the government, which the government already owns you anyway. But before you sign those papers and you become the property of the military, right? You count the cost. You say, well, what could possibly, well, we could go to war and I could go out there and get holes put in me and die on the battlefield. I could get caught by the enemy and made a POW and get tortured and all of those things, right? You count the cost. These things could happen to me, right? If I sign these papers, they could send me, well, I got a guaranteed contract to go to Germany and I'm only in for 2 years. That doesn't mean a damn thing to me. They can do whatever the fuck. Well, you didn't read the fine print. That changed the moment you sign these papers. So, the point I'm getting at is, you could be killed, right? Well, to make your body a living sacrifice, right? Shouldn't you do that in the truth and not in the world? Absolutely. See, you got guarantees over here. The Most High can't go back on his word. The devil will absolutely go back on his word. Who are you going to sign with? All right? Are you gonna buy into a sure thing? Of course you are. Not something that absolutely is not going to work. If you understood the scriptures, the devil's going to lose. He's going to lose. Soon. Very soon. Right? So here we are. We signed up. This is the greatest prep ever. All right? And all you got to do is this. Right? You ain't got to go build a pantry, locate by a fresh water stream, learn how to light fire and all of that. It'd be good to do those things too, right? If at all possible. But if not, none of that shit means anything anyway. Why? Because nobody can take the elect out of the Most High's hand. Nobody can pluck them out of the Most High's hand. Here's where you want to be. Okay? Guess what? Everybody's in the war. That's why they call it World War. Do you know what happens when the world goes to war with each other? All right? Well, just because you're not on the immediate battlefield doesn't mean that you're not being affected by a wartime economy. Okay? Your own country come put you to work. Oh, you going in the sweatshop. You finna make these bombs. You're a slave, buddy. Ask the Japanese. What happened to them right here in World War II? Okay? So now, who are you going to sign with? Okay? And if you were smart, you would have signed 15 years ago, knowing that this day was coming. Here we are. Guess what? I woke up and I was in a fucking war, in the middle of a war, and did not know what the fuck to do. Well, guess what? If you're waking up right now by watching this, well, what do I do then? Well, what? And that's a nigga, you're gonna die. That's what you're gonna do then. Now, here's the answer to your ridiculous question. Number one, repent. How do I repent? Well, go look up the word. It's a compound word. Right? Repent. Feel sorry. Again, for what you did. What'd you do? Broke God's laws. Find out what those things mean. Repent. Acknowledge that you fucked up. Pray for forgiveness. And get your ass back in order. That's number one. Repent. You have to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Do you know what that means? See, these phrases, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. That's a scripture, right? And I'm paraphrasing. Okay? But these things should be in your mind by now. And if they're not, You have to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. You have to refocus everything that you're doing. You got to drop everything. Oh, I got a job and I got kids. You got to drop everything you're doing and trust not in your own uh, uh, understanding. Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thine own understanding. Only chance you got out of getting out of this thing right now is if the Most High opens up your ears and your eyes to this message right here. Okay, repent. We're at the end. Okay? And even though you're going to make it anyway if you're of the elect, guess what? You're on the battlefield. You can't be out on the battlefield in tennis shoes. Okay? What about punji sticks? If you're wearing jungle boots, right, in Vietnam, we're back in the Nam again, right, and you don't have on the right boots, you fall into a trap, and guess what? Charlie, who was Ammon or Moab, one of the two, right, they're trained in torture. They're trained in what do you call that shit? Booby traps. You're walking, suddenly you fall into a hole, and they got bamboo, sharpened bamboo with poison on top, and you're going to fall. The bamboo is going to go right through your boot because you don't have a steel plate in it. You don't have a steel plate in your boot. You got on tennis shoes. Nigga got on Vans, right, walking through the jungle in the middle of a damn war, and you ain't ready. Your feet are not shod, right? A nigga got on, well, I got a fresh pair of J's on. Nigga in his backpack, you got to have extra socks and foot powder to keep your feet dry so you don't fuck your feet up and then you can't walk and you can't escape. There are all these little things, right? But a nigga got 3 pair of J's with no steel plate in the bottom of them. You're not ready for the battlefield. You're worried about how you look and if you got on the latest fashion, as though that's going to fucking matter, right? When and if and when you're getting beamed up and you can't take nothing with you. This is the thoughts of a nigga, right? It's punji sticks, it's traps, it's booby traps out there that this devil is counting on you not knowing about. All right, so let's get to Ephesians. What are you to do? All right? If you're of the elect, you're going to make it anyway. But that doesn't mean that you don't have on the full armor of the Most High. Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. All right? Put on the whole armor of the Most High. Right? 2. All right? That ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. What is wiles? It's like your boy Wile E. Coyote. Wile E. Coyote, right? They open the show. This is Roadrunner and the Coyote. They'd open the show, playing some little music. This nigga would have a little easel or a little chalkboard, right? Wiley, and he never spoke a word, right? He never spoke a word, but when he did speak, a little cloud would come up and they, you know. But Wiley was a genius by trade, all right? Thou art wiser than Daniel. Wile E. His name was Wile E. Coyote. Wiley. Going back to the wiles of the devil. the schemes, the plans. So Wile E got a chalkboard, right? And he's diagramming how he's gonna lie in wait and set a trap for who? The Roadrunner. This nigga's making plans and going over it with a fine-tooth comb. All right? Now let's read that again. This devil is Wile E, and you are the Roadrunner. Okay? It says, Ephesians 6:11, put on the whole armor of the Most High that ye may be able to stand. What does it mean to stand? To withstand, to stand up against, to make a stand against the wiles of the devil. That word wild means plans or schemes. We are not ignorant of his schemes. This nigga is at the chalkboard ready to catch roadrunners. Okay? And your black ass is the roadrunner. All right? How do you not get caught? I just told you. Put on the whole armor. Even though you're going to make it. Right? In order to make it, you got to put on the whole armor. Ephesians 6:12, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Okay, so that's witchcraft. See this devil, right? Esau, Edom, he's got spiritual power. What does it say? Against spiritual wickedness in high places. Spiritual power is power that the Most High has given on the right-hand side and on the left. So this devil's using what the Most High gave him. Witchcraft. Spiritual wickedness. There's power. There's power. This dude can manifest demons. He can fly. Right? Or in The Exorcist, I saw a little girl, she was on top of that kind of shit fucking exists. That's spiritual power on the left-hand side. He's got spiritual power too. But the right is much stronger, right? But they're working with what they got, all right? So how do you stand against that? It's a spiritual battle. He's in full control of his spiritual power. You, right? You got to give diligence to make your calling and election sure. If you're of the elect, you got to be praying for that spiritual power on the right hand side, right? Ephesians 6:13. Wherefore, take unto you the whole armor of the Most High, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. See that word stand? Stand, withstand, stand up. Stand therefore, here it is again, having your loins girt about with truth. That's a girdle. Your loins what? Girt. What does girt mean? Girdle. Right? Yahushua got a golden girdle. Okay? It's a war belt. So that if you get stabbed in this area, boom, that sword is just going to go the other way. That's gold. You're protected against getting stabbed right there. All right? Your loins girt about with truth. Okay? How do you protect this area? Truth. Truth. There's one. Having on the breastplate, how do you protect your chest area? Righteousness. The breastplate of righteousness. So there's truth. There's righteousness. And your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Your boots, feet shod. What does it mean, feet shod? That you're not wearing a fucking designer pair of fucking J's, nigga. That punji sticks are gonna. You're not thinking about the Wile E. Coyote who got a trap set for you. Okay, so you got truth, you got righteousness, and the gospel of peace on your feet. Not no J's, nigga, with no steel plate. Okay? Above all, taking the shield. See this? Starting Monday, or starting in 15 minutes, because we're not with days no more, we're at hours. Okay? We're dealing with hours now, because time is speeding up. So in 15 minutes, you got to inculcate this and put it into practical application. All right? Above all, taking the shield of faith. All right? So, truth, righteousness, gospel of peace, faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of what? Salvation. Okay, what is salvation? Salvation is being saved. What must you do? You must give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Election for what? But the elect have, what then? Israel hath not found what they looketh for, I'm paraphrasing. But the elect have, I'm going to have to get the, okay. Salvation is what we're looking for. The helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit. You got to be spiritual, which is the word. Okay? The sword of the Spirit is what? The word. The Spirit is what? The words that I speak unto you. Yahushua. This Bible. All right? Where was I? What then? Let me get what then. Because I'll forget. What then? Israel. Romans 11:7. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for? What is that? That's this truth. Okay? The truth that leads to salvation. What then? Israel hath not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election hath obtained it, and the rest were blinded. Obtained what? Right? Salvation. Right? But the elect have obtained it. Let's get it. What was it, 7? But the election hath obtained it, that's the elect, and the rest were blinded. According as it is written, the Most High hath given them the spirit of slumber, eyes that they should not see, and ears that they should not hear unto this day. Okay? So what is that talking about? That's talking about the division between the 1 and the 2/3. What is of the Jews? Salvation. Who obtained it? The election. Right? Let's get salvation. Salvation is of this is John 4:22. Ye worship ye know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of. What is salvation? It's talking about the Israelites, right? Salvation is of the Jews. What Jews? The elect of Israel. Okay? This is what we search for. Salvation. To be saved, to be extracted from a hot LZ. Did we get it? Gonna wrap it up. Got some things to do. What are we looking and hasting unto? The day of the Lord, right? That is what? Let's get that. See, this place is going to burn up. And this is what we want to be extracted from. This is 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. What is the day of the Lord? The day of the Lord is when the missiles hit and burn a motherfucker's ass up. And we don't want to be here. We want to be out before that happens. Okay? The first thing that's going to happen when those missiles hit is a great earthquake. Then the fire, the blast, the radiation. But first that earthquake. And it all comes together. All right? And before that happens, where do we want to be? We want to be on them birds. We got extracted from the POW camp. That's why we're out here doing the greatest prep of all time, making our bodies a living sacrifice out here on this battlefield, right? With all the armor, the whole armor of the Most High. Why? Because we can see how close we are to the sea hip, which got to come before the missiles. The final battle in the Valley of Yehoshaphat. That's becoming the focus right now. And a lot of people are so distracted by the polycrisis or don't even see the polycrisis. It's amazing. It's amazing. This is why it's going to come as a thief in the night. Let's read it again. It's how close we are, and you can see people. Not only do they not see it, they don't want to see it, and they got their heads stuck. Those that are afraid of it, instead of your fear being in the right place, your fear is in the wrong place. You fear the devil and these bombs. So what? See, if you have done the right thing, it doesn't matter if bombs are going to explode or that you get burned up. Your death, right, doesn't mean anything if you're in Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You'll be the first one on a bird. So you have to understand this gospel, right? Because it has gone out. And here we are. But the day of the Lord will come. This is 2 Peter 3:10. But the day of the Lord is when the missiles come and burn everybody's ass. It's going to tell you. The day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, in the which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. The earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, including your ass if you ain't right. What manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hasting unto the coming of the day of God, the Most High, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Okay? So, that's talking about that fire that's going to come from them missiles. But before the fire, the earthquake. Big explosion, right? That's going to make the earth reel to and fro like a drunkard. Where do you want to be in that day? Revelation 11 and 13. And the same hour was there a great earthquake. Well, there's those missiles right before the fire. And the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000. Everybody died that didn't get on that bird. Everybody died in that hot. And when I say hot LZ, how hot does it have to be to melt the elements? Okay? Very, very, very hot LZ. In the same hour was there a great earthquake, and the 10th part of the city fell, and in the earthquake were slain of men 7,000, and the remnant were affrighted and gave glory to the power of heaven. So you want to be of that remnant. The remnant were the POWs that were extracted by the birds. The birds are the chariots of Israel. We're working out here and doing this work and making our bodies a living sacrifice so we can get on them birds and not get burned the hell up out here. Fire and brimstone. It's a fire and brimstone sermon, right? Here comes the fire and that brimstone to burn your ass up. Why? You missed the extraction. You were distracted. You were distracted, so you missed the extraction. See? Don't miss the extraction. You got to have on the whole armor now. Okay? You got to be focused. You can't focus if you're drinking, and I learned that the hard way, right? But I understand what time we're in now. All right? Hey, you know when the next time is safe to drink? When we're drinking that aged old wine with Yahushua. If we be the Lord willing, we are those men. All right? And it's just that simple. All right? So with that, repent, acknowledge your offense, pray for forgiveness, get back in order, get the name of Yahweh Shem Yahushua in your head, get this 100% truth, and get ready, get your ass ready, right, to walk through the valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil. You got to fear the Most High, Yahweh Shem Yahushua. You have to trust in the Lord with all your heart, which is your mind, and lean not unto your own understanding. All right, so with that, I'm going to say, Call halal Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Ba'Shem Kadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS, including the elders that came before them that taught us this truth. Shalom and salutations to all the brothers that push the word of truth and sincerity. The hopeful elect tabernacle of David. All right, shalom.